If a student on your school playground started talking to you about how polar bears are moving into people's backyards and eating out of their garbage, you'd probably want to know more about this student if this information were true before you took it seriously. The same goes for websites. There's a lot of useful information on the internet, but since anyone can publish a website, it's important to stop and think carefully about online information before you use it. This process is called evaluating websites. In this tutorial, you'll learn how and why to think carefully about information you find on the internet, some questions to consider when you're looking at websites, and some practical tips for how to evaluate internet sites you visit. Many of us use the internet to gather information for all sorts of things. We might use that information to learn more about a favorite sports team, find a video game tip, watch a video to learn skateboard tricks, or to learn how to do an experiment for a science fair. Our whole way of viewing the world is based on the information that we encounter, and a lot of that information comes from the internet. That's why it's so important to evaluate the information that you find on the internet. Of course, this is also good for your school assignments. It will make your research better. First, as you scan and read a website, stop and pay attention. Is the site a good fit? Can you read and understand the information on the site? Does the reading level feel comfortable? Is the information appropriate for your age? Does the site have information that makes you uncomfortable? Are there ads on the page that do not seem right for your age? If the site is not a good fit, leave it and try a different one. Remember, you are in control of your internet searching, and it's your job to find the best sites for you. If a website seems like a good fit, the next step is to use TRAAP. You want to avoid the traps of the internet and capture the good information. TRAAP stands for timeliness, relevance, accuracy, author, and purpose. TRAAP will help you navigate the web and avoid the traps of the internet. The T in TRAAP stands for timeliness. Timeliness means information that is current and as up to date as the topic needs. First, find out when this information was created. The date could be when the information was posted, originally written, or copyrighted. If you can't find a date, use your own judgment to determine if the information is current. People do view topics differently and talk about them in different ways at different times. Technology and science provide good examples of how information can change over time. Consider Pluto. Not that long ago, our solar system had 9 planets, and Pluto was one of them. Recently, Pluto was reclassified from a planet to a new category called dwarf planets. Since then, astronomers have been discovering even more dwarf planets. Now scientists are again debating Pluto's planet status. This is an example of how timeliness matters when selecting a source. In this case, recent information is needed. Scientists and researchers discover new information all the time. Therefore, your sources of information need to be up to date for some topics like climate change, endangered species, medicine, or technology. Other topics have information that does not change much over time, and older information can still be useful. For example, pet care, the Oregon Trail, and how to make cookies are examples of topics that have not changed significantly over time. So, older articles on these topics would be useful. The R in TRAAP stands for relevance. Relevance means the information presented matches your research needs. Does the information relate to your research question? For example, if you're trying to find out if that student on the playground was right about polar bears eating people's garbage, then a site talking about grizzly bears in Yellowstone National Park may be interesting, but it will not answer your question. In this case, a site with current events from a newspaper or magazine could be better to answer your question about polar bears eating garbage. Another question to ask yourself is, Does the source add something new to your knowledge of the topic, or does it back up information you have already found? Both new information and information that supports what you've learned elsewhere are important. Finding information in multiple sources confirms that it is accurate and helps you build a better argument.